because I don't feel any energy from you. And I have seen, people at the back, you are in your own world. By the way, I'm the founder and director general of the university. If I tell Dr. Kumar, some of you are not getting the conferment today, he has to say yes to that. So, I'm watching you, okay? No, this is not a threat. This is just a mild warning. But yes, come on. I am a firm believer in being deliberate. Do you understand what I mean when I say that? I don't like when people, I'm a psychologist by training. My first degree in psychology, second degree in psychology, even my doctorate in psychology. Alongside I did education, business management and all that. But my core field is psychology. And so I really focus a lot on human personality, human behavior, human emotions. And so when I see people in front of me say something, but then don't really mean it, I get really upset. I'm being very honest with you. So, she said good morning, you said good morning. He said good morning, you don't even say anything. And yet, Dr. Kumar, they are here for what? To celebrate their graduation. What is happening here? So, let's change this. Come on. You are here for yourself. And your family is here because of you. Come on, Saturday morning, you could be somewhere else. Not enough. But we'll improve as we go. All right, so if you're doing something, if you're going to clap as if you mean it from here and here. If not, don't clap. Otherwise, it's like mocking the other person on the stage. Seriously. So let's mean what we say and what we do. Mean it from our heart. It doesn't matter if you make mistake, as long as you really mean it, okay? So with that, I want to thank the organizers today, Maple Tree Academy, our long-standing partner in Malaysia. In fact, we call them our primary partner in Malaysia because they are very serious about what they do in collaboration with the EIU, in partnership with EIU. And we are very selective when it comes to partners because we have had very bad experiences before. For example, in India, or I don't know if it is India, but someone from Pakistan but operating in India and also Dubai, literally printed a so-called EIU degree and sold it to someone, literally for $500. Now, the person who sold it is crazy, but the person who even bought that paper is even crazier, isn't it? Consumers, out of the mind, okay? I cannot believe that, but we are very careful because of that. We want to make sure that our partners, have the right conceptualization about education. For me, education is a serious business. If we are here just to make money, then we might as well not be here. So, we are very serious about what we do in the field of education. And Dr. Joel shared with you what we have accomplished so far. None of you clapped when he said QS 5-star rating. You know why? Because you don't understand. But let me tell you something for context. Then maybe now you'll clap. I have audited or visited, accreditation audit, universities that are like 50 years old, 100 years old. You know how many stars they get? QS star rating? 3 out of 5. At the most 4 out of 5. After being there for 50, 100 years. We are here only like now about 8 years. We already in the second round of audit, we received 5 out of 5 star. That's a great accomplishment. I like that. Don't break the glass though. I like that. So that's a lot in terms of meaning. It means we have proven to everyone. When we first began our journey, there were naysayers, there were a lot of negativity, people comment, and I keep telling my staff, focus on our goals. Understand and realize and focus on why we are here on earth. All right, so we keep going in this manner and we have achieved a lot. In fact, on top of the 50 plus new economy degree that we are going to launch in June, there's something else happening in June, probably in June. We are actually going to start offering on-campus programs in Paris with a very big name and a group called College de Paris. They have got 40 different institutions under them as a member, and EIU-Paris is going to join in that group as a member group in the College de Paris organization. So a lot of good things are happening because we are very focused, we are very sure we know what to do in the field of education. I also want to take this moment to thank Dr. Joel for being here. Normally I attend graduation because we conduct it in different places in the world. So I normally go solo. But today I'm so honored and lucky, okay, very blessed to have Dr. Joel with us. Okay, he's a very busy person, very hard to get him. In fact, the previous graduation in Bangkok, he couldn't attend, but today he's here. He just flew in last night and he's going back today itself. So you understand that. And then also, we have, for the first time, this is his debut appearance in a graduation ceremony. Honorable President Emeritus Professor Dr. K.K. Johan. He is officially our one and only President Emeritus, and he is actually gracing us with his presence during our ceremony today. Again, I'm very honored to have them join me at this ceremony. How many of you really feel happy to be here today? Some of you are clapping, some of you are saying yay. How do I process that? Okay. Before I go further, okay? Let's have everyone who's not wearing the funny clothing here, okay? Stand up. Those of you who are not acting like Smurfs today, okay? Red Smurfs. Normally Smurfs are blue. Okay. Those of you who are not wearing the regalia, please stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. I know Dr. Joel already thanked them. But graduates, look at them. Turn around and look at them. Your friends, your family members, your husband, your wife, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your whatever, your parents even. Let's give them a big round of applause and clap like you mean it. You really thank them. Because indeed, it is not possible for you to be here without them, isn't it? Let's give a big round of applause again for them. And you can be seated. Thank you very much. We really appreciate what you have done for these graduates. So coming back to the graduates, my message is exclusively to the graduates. That's why it's called the graduates address. But I'm going to do something slightly different, okay? I'm going to share my time with our Professor Emeritus later, but I will say something first. Okay, this is my personal sharing with the graduates. So guests and visitors, you can go to sleep now. But graduates, okay, your ears to what I have got to say. How many of you really feel happy today for being here? You know what? I realized one thing. Yesterday we had an oral defense for one of our Doctor of Psychology student who was in Singapore, who defended his thesis. And his thesis, basically it was a very long topic. I won't tell you all the whole sentence. But basically his research was about why is it that doctorate students especially start their program, but then there's a very high percentage, globally it seems 50% or more attrition rate. In other words, if 100 people join in a doctorate program, 50 to 60 people drop out, never completing. Okay, so that was the main focus of the thesis defense. I then narrated the experience that I have in Thailand. There is a university, very traditional university, long-standing university, and one day I met with this dean, and he very proudly and in a very cocky, confident, overconfident, proud way said, "Oh, we enrolled 200 students, PhD students, this year alone." But you know what he said? What he said next shocked me. He said, "Only 1 or 2 will graduate after 6 to 8 years." And he was very proud of that. And I was boiling in my heart. And I said, you know what? I did not start EIU to be like this kind of university. I'm not looking down on them. Maybe that's their style. But I do not see that as an education institution. An education institution should bring people in, build them up, and then send them stronger. Isn't it? But for you to say, oh, I celebrate the fact that I bring people in, I torture them like a prison, okay? And then only 1 or 2 get out. I was shocked, but that is the status quo. So that's why I asked you this question. How many of you are truly happy? Because I think there is a positive correlation between the amount of struggle and the amount of appreciation. If you don't struggle too much, when you get something you don't appreciate, just like, when you're dating someone. There's a Dato here today and with a very beautiful Datin. So I don't know how hard did he work to get you Datin? Did he work hard? If he worked hard, then when he get the Datin, then he will be very happy and appreciate. He will take care of the Datin, okay? So I also believe the same applies to graduation. So I want to ask you again, how many of you really struggle, and then now that you are here, you really feel happy? You are excited. I see only these people are excited here, one or two. The rest of you are not graduating. Okay, we cancel all of them. Only this one, two. Dr. Augustine and what's your name? Lynette. Only two people graduate. Okay, you also. Okay. But yeah, think about it. If you struggle, then when it comes to celebrating it, you really appreciate it. Without struggle, there is no real meaning. I want to share with you about 5 people, very distinct people. The first one is Steve Jobs. Did you know what was the preoccupation of Steve Jobs? All his life, he had only one thing and one thing alone in his mind, and that is to make technology or to marry technology with beauty. Some of you are graduating with aesthetics and beauty, right? He wanted to marry technology with beauty. Huh? What do you mean? He wanted to make technology or the use of technology feel magical. In other words, he wanted to put a soul in technology so that human beings, when they use technology, they don't feel overwhelmed. I guess this was a time when technology was a mystery to a lot of people. You remember when you first encountered the laptop? How much was it? 10,000 ringgit? It's like, oh no, this is not my piece of device. Now, everyone, even more powerful than laptop. iPhone is very powerful, or even a Samsung phone, very powerful. It's a reality now, but those days I think. So that's why Steve Jobs was so preoccupied with creating or marrying technology with beauty so that people can have a magical experience using technology. That is Steve Jobs. By the way, did Steve Jobs have coding experience? Programming experience? Did he even have a degree? Now today all of you are here to receive your degree, to be conferred your degree. Steve Jobs did not even have a degree for what he was going to do, and did. He wanted to make technology feel magical. He wanted to put a soul in it. He wanted every human being to enjoy the experience, and hence you have iPhone and the Apple revolution. How many of you use Apple, by the way, or iPhone? Not too many. Oh, okay. Don't stone me to death now. But I'm a lover. I'm a lover of Apple, and recently all my files got deleted. I don't know why. Elon Musk is another person. Now, what is Elon Musk's preoccupation? PayPal? No, but there's one thing that he is crazy about. That every day he wakes up, he thinks about this. Engineering? Okay, the one thing that Elon Musk really, I know there's Tesla and all other things, okay, but the one thing that he's really preoccupied with is making humanity interplanetary. He is trying to save humanity from another extinction, just like the dinosaurs. Did you know that? That is why Elon Musk gets up every day and lives his life. Apart from everything else, this is the main preoccupation. But is he a real scientist, a rocket scientist? No, he just reads textbooks on rocket science. And yet every day he is working toward making humanity interplanetary, not Star Trek, okay? In reality, he wants to make this happen. Okay, so Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. How about the Wright brothers? The Wright brothers. There was a counterpart to Wright brothers, by the way. There was someone by the name Samuel Langley, who was given by the government, the state government at that time, $50,000. $50,000, I think, is like, today's terms, it will be like millions, to work on, the aviation technology. But did he make it? No. The Wright brothers were mere bicycle mechanics. They had bicycle shop. And yet, what were they preoccupied doing? They always wanted to see human beings fly like a bird. Somehow, they said, why not we fly? Human beings, why not they fly? And today, we all travel. Dr. Joel just arrived yesterday. I also arrived yesterday, by the way. And we fly, we travel around the world because of the aviation industry that was made possible by whom? The Wright brothers, who no one even looked at, rejected them, laughed at them. scorned at them, did not even get any funding. Bicycle shop mechanics made it possible for all of us to fly. Mahatma Gandhi, a failing lawyer, and when he was in South Africa, he was slapped with discrimination at the highest order. What happened? He then started on a quest to elevate human dignity and freedom. And you know, the rest is history. He actually championed something called peace through non-violence, through courage. Not with any weapon, but with your own philosophical ideologies. He is another person who understood his purpose or sense of purpose. And the last person I want to share with you is a woman. In fact, she's phenomenal. I really admire this person. She is originally from Poland, a very poor migrant worker from Poland who moved to Paris. And even in Paris, very cold place, she had no heater in the workshop or garage that she was working. Madame Marie Curie. Okay? And why did I say she's a phenomenal figure? Because she is the only human being, forget that she is a woman, okay? She's also an inspiration to all women in the world, but she's the only human being to win 2 Nobel Prizes in sciences. One in chemistry and one in physics. She was preoccupied with matter, with atoms, especially uranium, radium, and polonium. Alright, so coming from very, very poor background, nothing was given to her. In fact, people looked down on her because at that time, okay, 1800s, women nowhere in science or sciences. But she did it. She said, never give up when you have a dream in your heart. So you know what is the common theme running across all these people? What is the common thing that binds them all together? Of course, they lived in different times, they were in different fields, they're different human beings. But what is one thing that runs through all of them? Build your dreams? Yes? What is that? Desperate. They were desperate. Okay, I like that word, desperate, yes. Okay. They knew why they were on earth in the first place. So, today as you graduate, I want to ask you, yes, you are getting a degree and you're very proud about your achievement. And this is going to open many doors, windows of opportunities for you to progress further. But I won't be surprised, even at your stage and at level, okay, that some of us today cannot answer the question. It's a simple question actually, but very, very profound and important. Why am I here on earth? That also answers the question, why are you here in this hall? Why are you here, really? Because if it is just for the degree, anyone can do that, isn't it? We have a concept called academic inflation, degree conferment inflation. Those days you have a high school completion, enough for you to become a CEO. Today, even with a doctorate or master's, you cannot even imagine, climbing up that high. But why are you here on earth? Each of these personalities that I just introduced to you have figured out, have answered the question, why I am on this earth. Because once you figure that question out, once you answer that question, then you realize that the purpose or the why ignites everything else. Okay, degrees, skills, technology, and success are just the how that follows. But often human beings, we always go after the how, the what, the why. The how, the what, the when, not the why. But I think the more important question to ask today is the why. So I want to ask you, or rather, I want to say that the why is the engine and everything else is just the vehicle. So my charge to you today, graduates, class of 2026, I'm talking to each and every one of you now. Okay? Take your degree, use it, Dr. Joel just mentioned that also, and be proud of it, of course, and build with it. But spend the rest of your life, starting today, if possible, before you leave this hall, spend the rest of your time and life getting a clearer and clearer on your why, understanding of your why. You need to figure this out. before it's too late. Otherwise, you just live as another number or another personality and you are no more. Because when your why is strong enough, you will find a way through every obstacle, every rejection, every season of doubt, and every moment when the world tells you, you cannot do it. All the 5 people that I just shared with you knew their why. They knew it very clearly. And that's how every day, day in and day out, they could wake up and do what they were doing. Now, if you ask me personally, what is my why? I have my why figured out long time ago. And that is why I do what I do. I have always wanted to make education accessible. I've always wanted to make education more democratized. But not just make it accessible, affordable, and all that, but also do it the right way. And Dr. Joel earlier in his speech mentioned the word neuroscientifically aligned platform. Did you notice that? You are the mental health psychologist, right? So you understand. But what I mean is the way education has been done for decades now has been flawed. And I am actually trying to fix that. And I'm doing many things to try to fix that on a global scale as well. Okay, and the platform that he talked about earlier will be actually fixing that problem. Now, do you think people will be, open arms, accepting my idea and embracing me and encouraging me? No. There will be rejections. There will be scorn. There will be negativity. They will tell, come on, this guy wants to solve the problem of education. What a joker. Of course, not everyone will be happy with my why. But I am very convinced about my why. I am very sure about my why. I am very adamant, and desperate, as you said, okay, about my why. I think the world needs a more equitable education access. I was doing more research about this, and you will be surprised that the amount, if you have to put the value, monetary value on the gap that exists in the inequitability of education in terms of access to education, like you all are very lucky to be here. You got your degree, you're getting your degree today. But those who cannot get their degree, if you put a monetary value to it, you know how much it is? Guess. If you have to monetize it, you have to convert that into financial terms. I was shocked when I saw this number. How much? A couple of millions? It's 6 trillion. So if you're thinking about getting into education, you're thinking right. We are talking about the gap. We are not talking about existing education industry. The gap. So that's why I am going to fill the gap. And money is not my motivation, but I will get the money because why? There is a $6 trillion waiting untapped right there. Those people who cannot access higher education. Okay, and we are talking about blue ocean actually, but also at the same time doing good for humanity. So, graduates, I want to urge you and I want to charge you. You come here, you take your degree, you walk back down with your heads high up and proud. But before you walk out of this hall today, or before you go to sleep tonight, please, please, please ask yourself this very important question. Why am I here on earth? Because once you figure that out, everything else becomes trivial, petty, not important, and you focus your eyes, your attention, your goal on that bigger picture, and you will then become a true impact player. The kind of people EIU-Paris wants to see graduate from its institution. So congratulations, graduates, one more time. Let's give a big round of applause to all of you, and a big homework to you is to figure out why you are here on earth. And before I sit, I want to invite, I'm sharing my time. Dr. Kumar, please don't mind, okay? I'm sharing my time with our Honorable President Emeritus, Professor Dr. K.K. Johan, to please come and say a few words to the graduates. Let's welcome him. Come on. Thank you.